So, okay. After a few things, I wanted to post something about what I saw on the news about people hitting people because of a hat. Okay. One, I have nothing against this, but I am not a huge fan of those people wearing the red hats that say, "Make America Great Again," or MAGA hats. Reason why is some of the people I've run into that wear them are kind of off their rocker. So I'm kind of going to say it now. One, please don't approach them. Just leave them alone, please. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm not a huge fan, and I usually have the whole thing of 1, leave them alone. 2, leave them alone. 3, walk away from them. 4, don't even board the bus with them. And 5, just, yeah, avoid. Mostly the reason why, and this is kind of, you don't know what they're going to be, what their mentality is. You don't want to be in a situation where they're going to find out, oh, you didn't vote for so-and-so, so you're probably, they're going to say you're a snowflake or something ridiculous. I had a lady do that on the bus when she found out that I actually agreed with the RTD bus stand about the bathroom issue. And that's a totally different thing. In Denver, we have, they had to take all the stall doors off of one of the things downtown because it was to deter people from trying to shoot drugs up in the privacy of a bathroom at a public terminal. And I agreed with RTD's stance on it because it's a safety issue. Seriously, it is. And she called me a snowflake and a bunch of other really stupid things, even though the reason why I agreed with RTD's stance, it was a purely logical and safety situation. So, yeah. And that was that with that lady, and she went on to yell at me for not being a Trump supporter, blah, blah, blah. How she figured that one out, I do not know. I think the woman was batshit crazy. I think she was just trying to be a loose cannon on that one. But I avoided her after that, and I seriously was not appreciating that her husband actually got to talk to me and actually apologize for his wife's behavior. And he actually learned that I was not a bad person. That I was a very logical person, and I had good reasons for the way I was. Whether or not this woman's logic was in the right spot, I don't know. But pretty much, she left me alone the rest of the time. Truthfully, that was my encounter with one person who had those ability, that kind of behavior. Well, the other thing that I kind of noticed is she also realized I was also chatting with my fiance because he was asking me when I was coming home. And unfortunately, my fiance's picture is on my phone. And she could pretty much see him. And that's when she called him a very rude name. Now, I, Nagi Iowa 101, do not really think very highly of people who are very racist. Because it shows how unethical they really are. I game with a lot of different types of people, so gaming-wise, I usually try to stay away from people who are very racist, don't agree with me 100%. I like to co-op with people I know outside of the video game realm. I like playing video games with my friends. You'll hear my fiance in the background every now and then of my videos going, "What are you doing?" Because he'll do it. But when you have people who use racial slurs or do something like that, you really don't want to hang out with them because it detracts from who you are. Trust me. You're a great person without all that. Truthfully, that is my take on it. Take it or leave it. Personally, if I see somebody with a MAGA hat, I try to stay away from them because I don't know how they're going to feel about me. Or even if they talk to me, I would much rather they talk about books that I'm reading or something other than that. I personally try to stay out of the political range because it's just not, it's not polite. I mean, Hell, I get enough gray from this. And this is a gaming book my fiance uses for, called J-Claw Anthropomorphic Fantasy Role-Playing Game. And we play that on occasion. Truthfully, that is about all there is to it. To avoid the fact that there are racist people in this world, just avoid them. Don't talk to them. Don't even acknowledge them half the time, because you're a better person without them. And in the gaming realm, if you end up with people like that, you really don't want to game with them. This is why I don't like Call of Duty, because I always end up running into people that are like that, and I personally find that kind of offending, because, for one, I have a friend who plays that game, and he's only in there for story mode, or for, getting trophies. He's not there for, listening to somebody's ideology and their, apparent lack of, an intellectual conversation. So, in general, I will tell people, please don't be racist, please don't treat your friends like crap, because these are your friends, and they're supposed to be your friends. Gaming-wise, if you are part of the gaming community that I'm in, generally we're open to a lot of people with different backgrounds, ethnic and religious, and even from other parts of the world. And that's why I don't really like having racist people in my group, because we have so many people from all over the world that are really great people. So, that is my take on the whole thing with this MAGA hat thing. Please just avoid them. Please leave them alone. I mean, I avoid them and I leave them alone, and generally they don't bother me. It's usually when they realize that I'm not going to respond the way they want me to, that they get offended or upset with me. Like, if somebody were to walk up and knock my Fillery and Further hat off my head, I'd probably look at the person going, what is your problem? And put my hat back on. And even if it offends them, I'm probably just going to go, I'm sorry that it offended you, but it's my favorite TV show. Bye. Because, literally, I love The Magicians. It's a great show. I've missed the last couple episodes because of being so tired. So, anyway, that is my take. If you don't like that take, that's fine. I'm just trying to say, hey, don't knock it. Just leave them alone. They probably don't even know that if you don't support what this president is doing, that's perfectly fine to protest it and say, hey, that's what he's doing is not okay. But hitting is wrong. Last few people who hit somebody because they had that hat on really should rethink that, because that's really not setting a good example for your family. That's not setting a good example if you have kids. It's not setting a good example in general. That's my take on it. I'm not a fan of MAGA because the last couple times I've run into very racist people, and they really hurt my feelings because I'm not racist. I don't believe in racism. I don't believe in hate. Although I do believe that some of these MAGA people need to have something knocked into them, but not a 2x4. Have some sense knocked into them, because it's not fair to your child who sees a Hispanic person and assumes that they're Mexican. Because there's Hispanic people who are not Mexican. They're born here, or they're part Native American. And it shows how ignorant you really are if you're going to judge somebody like that. Again, this is why I love gaming, because you can't tell the difference between anybody on the gaming circuits. I mean, I play SAO, and I don't see the difference. Characters are characters. And in any way, I have many friends that are black, and I have many friends who are Hispanic. I have many friends that are Asian. It don't really matter to me who they are. It's what their character tells me. I saw an article about this mother judging a gay teacher, and his take on it is, are you going to judge the doctor before he does the surgery on your child to save your child's life? Are you going to do a background check on him if he is in the emergency room and your child needs to be rescued? And that response I had was, that is a show of good character. He's willing to bend over backward for a straight mother and her children, even though she doesn't agree with his, with who he is. And that's the same way. I don't agree with 90% of people with a lot. Actually, I don't agree with a lot of people. And I don't really believe in telling them, hey, I want you to believe this way. No, that's not how it works. I'm Wiccan, and I don't even judge that. I've had Christians tell me I'm going to go to hell because of it. And I'm looking at them like, okay, whatever. No skin off my nose. If you need help and you can't find a babysitter, or you can't find somebody to watch your cat while you go on missionary work, good luck, because you're not going to find many people at your church willing to watch your cat. You're not going to find many people at your church willing to watch your kids, because, again, that is their judge. That's their judgment. So don't judge a person simply based on what they're wearing. But sometimes my experience with a bunch of the MAGA people has just been pretty nasty, and I usually stay away from them. Most of the people who wear the MAGA hats probably don't even realize they're being nasty to another human being, or they don't realize how it affects people and their mentality. I've had one person with a MAGA hat make a really interesting comment about what I was reading, and he noticed that I was not very happy about it, and I said, well, thank you, I appreciate your comment. And he's like, it's because of the hat. And he actually took the hat off and put it in his bag, and he's like, yeah, I've noticed. And he actually continued the conversation, and he realized very early on that the hat made him unapproachable. Many people avoided him because of the hat. And he stopped wearing the hat and was wearing other hats, like ball caps with his favorite band or his favorite football team on it. And he ended up saying that he noticed the difference was that people actually were nice to him. And it's sad that we live in an age where people make a judgment call. Sadly, when I judge a person with them wearing that hat, it's like they either A, are going to take one look at my fiance's picture and assume he's from Mexico, or B, they're going to be very rude to me, and I'm going to have to say be rude back because they're basically cutting into me. And yeah, that's not a fair judgment on anybody. So that's my take. Take it or leave it.